Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another Vargas Reviews. Went to see a movie that actually came out a while ago in the United States. It actually already released on DVD and Blu-ray, but we just got the release here in Mexico, and it's a movie that I didn't know that much about until when I saw a trailer. I didn't know that much about it. I saw a review by the Cinema Snob and Cool Duder. They actually did a review on this, and I didn't want to see it all the way through. I didn't want to spoil the movie for myself, because I did know, because of those reviews, that it was screenwritten by Joss Whedon, and also I think he was the producer, not the director, but the producer. And since he did such an amazing job with the Avengers, and I've liked what he's done with series like Firefly and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, movies like Serenity, again, the Avengers. I was actually looking forward to seeing that movie when it finally released here in Mexico. I went to see it with my girlfriend, and because, you know, the movies I've watched recently, I've watched with her, and I actually wanted to see it with her because I really wanted to see that one. We went in, and it's basically a movie about this group of friends, 5 friends in total, that go for a weekend to a cabin in the woods, like in the name. So they go there, and you have your typical characters. You have the jock character, you have the blonde character, you have the intellectual guy, you have the normal clean girl, well, not clean, but the normal safe girl, and then you have the dopehead, the guy that gets high anytime he can. And they go into this cabin, but the movie starts kind of fishy because you're in this like installation, and there's these 2 guys talking about, you know, how they need to beat a record and do a job that they don't really mention that much. They go into this control room, and they start talking about what they need to do when that it has to be done and everything. And you find out that they're monitoring these the 5 characters that go into the cabin. You don't really know what's going on. My girlfriend got confused because she didn't know what was going on. I kind of had an idea where they were going with this, because if you saw the TV show Angel, that might give you an idea on what's going on. Anyway, this facility is controlling what's happening in the cabin. What they're doing is that they've drugged the beer, they've drugged the air, basically to bring out the worst in the people that are in this cabin. For example, the blonde, she wasn't a blonde girl. She actually painted her hair before the weekend. It's revealed that they actually did something to the hair chemical so that it would seep into her brain and make her a dumb blonde. The jock guy isn't a jerk, isn't your typical jerky jock, but they do something to the beer that, you know, raises his testosterone, and he gets all alpha male on everyone. The sweet girl and the intellect guy are also throwing all these chemicals. The only one that is even slightly in his senses is the pothead. Turns out that the pot that he was smoking was interfering with all the chemicals that this facility was pumping into the cabin, so he's the only one that could, even though he was all doped up, he could still see things clearly, as it were. So weird stuff happening in the cabin, and they go into this basement, and in this basement there's a lot of horror movie cliches. There's this sphere thing that looks like a puzzle, and the jock's grabbing the puzzle and he's trying to solve it. And then the intellectual guy sees that he finds a music box with this little ballerina, and he's like entranced with it. The blonde finds this dress, this old looking dress with a necklace, and then the pothead finds these old movies, and the sweet innocent girl finds this book, and she's reading the book, and then she's reading how there was this family that lived in the cabin before, but they were like masochists and they would cut each other up and kill each other and stuff like that. So she sees some words in Latin, and the first guy that says don't do it, don't read that stuff, is the pothead. She's like, no, don't read anything in Latin. What's wrong with you? But she's like, again, because of the chemicals, she doesn't pay any attention, and she reads this incantation that brings back all the people that lived in the cabin before as zombies. So you're like, whoa, it turned into a zombie movie. But the installation knew about that. They actually had a bet going to see what would come out, like if it would be a zombie, or if it would be a merman, or if it would be the thing with the puzzle. So they know what's going on. They're actually controlling everything that's going on. The pothead finds out that they're being watched because he finds a camera, and he knows that something's fishy. He knows that something's going on, but because he's high, he can't, put two and two together. So while the zombies are coming out, they pump the jock, played by Chris Hemsworth, Thor himself. And this movie must be really old because Thor looks a lot younger than he did in the Avengers. I don't know if because he shaved and he got a haircut, or because this movie they filmed this movie before the Avengers. But Chris Hemsworth looks really young. He looks really, really young. I don't know what he did to himself, again, or if this movie was filmed before the Avengers, but he looked really, really young in this. So he's the jock. He goes out with the blonde, and they start releasing pheromones. So, they start making out, and the blonde chick, flashes at everyone, and all of a sudden, the blonde chick gets butchered by the zombies. So Jock goes back into the cabin, and he's telling everyone, holy shit, there's zombies here and everything. So after that, the zombies just start hunting down the characters. One of the zombies gets the pothead, and it seems like he's killed because you see a squirt of blood bursting out. And as each person is being killed, the institution pulls down this lever. They kind of say like this weird prayer. They put down the lever, and then blood funnels into this stone tablet. So they're doing that. The Chris Hemsworth character, the nice girl, and the intellect escape, and then you find out that there was supposed to be a cave-in to bring down the only entrance out of that location, and the guys are like scampering to cause a cave-in and trap these people in, and they manage to make it, and they trap the three characters in, and there's only like this little ledge separating the way out and the entrance. So the Thor character is like, I can jump that, I got my bike. So he gets into the bike, and then he's revving up, and he's saying, I'm going to come back for you. I'm going to come back for you, and I'm going to bring cops, and I'm going to bring the military, and I'm going to bring everyone I can get to get these bastards that killed my girlfriend. And everyone's like, okay, yeah. It's actually a really inspiring scene. And then he jumps down his bike, and then he crashes like on this force field. And you can see the crash like just smashes into the force. It's like this force field or something that has a hologram. And he smashes, and you just see him smash, 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 smash until he reaches the bottom. And the two survivors are like, oh crap, we're screwed. So they think that they'll go back to the cabin, and they'll try to escape that way. They kill the intellectual, so only the innocent girl remains. But she's starting to put two and two together, and she realizes that the pothead actually was onto something. But she's in shock, so she can't put two and two together. She just has an inkling. So the last one is the innocent girl. Turns out that this institution was making sacrifices all over the world, blood sacrifices, to keep these ancient gods suppressed in the bottom of the installation. Each sacrifice that they pulled the lever and poured the blood into the stone tablet was a sacrifice to keep the elder gods, in their place. Because if they didn't, they would rise up and they would destroy humanity. But it turns out that the pothead survived, and that's starting to anger the gods. So as the innocent sweet girl is being mauled by the zombie, the pothead comes out, he rescues her, and that interrupts the sacrifice. Because the order is that everyone else has to die except the sweet, innocent virgin girl has to be the last one to die. That's the way that the ritual works. So the institution is scrambling to get this guy. The two remaining heroes get into the installation, and they find out that this installation has every single horror movie monster in control, in like these little cell cubes. They have a werewolf, they have the zombies, they have like a giant vampire bat, they have a lizard man, they have a merman, they have a giant snake, giant spiders. They even had the guy with the puzzle. The puzzle was round, and they had this guy dressed in leather with 3 saws in the head. So that was an homage to Hellraiser. I thought that was really cool. So turns out that this institution is a worldwide thing. They make, you know, sacrifices in Spain and Mexico and Japan and everything, and all of the blood sacrifices have failed. So the American installation was their last hope to keep the ancients at bay. So they're scampering to kill these two, the pothead first before they can kill the virgin, and the two characters reach into the prison cells, and they just activate the doors and let every single monster out. So these monsters are laying waste to everyone in the institution, and I mean, it's a bloody mess. The werewolves are eating people, snakes are tearing people apart. It actually was amazing to see that. Because you don't expect it, you don't even see it coming, what's going on. And that's what I loved about this movie, that it keeps you guessing. You don't know what's going on until everything becomes clear, and then you're like, oh, right. That's actually pretty cool. And that's what I love about this movie, is that it's original. It actually has some original ideas. Again, if you watched Angel, you kind of get an idea what's going on, because in the Angel series, there was this law firm that also dealt with demons and monsters, and they also were under the rule of this like ancient demon that they never fully mentioned until the last season. So Joss Whedon had that plot element, that he just kind of like expanded it on this movie. Long story short, they make their way all the way back to the ancient chamber where the Ancient Ones are there, and Sigourney Weaver is the director of this institution, and she explains that all the sacrifices that were done were a means to keep these ancient gods at bay, and then the pothead has to die, and then the virgin has to die. Their deaths will save the world, because all the other blood sacrifices have failed. They haven't been able to, complete the ritual and keep the monsters at bay. So the innocent girl points a gun that they got and points it at the pothead, and she's like, I gotta do it, man. I gotta kill you to save the world. It's just you against millions of people. And the pothead's like, come on, man. What you gotta be like that? All of a sudden, a werewolf comes out, and it bites the girl. So she's eaten alive by this thing. And the pothead's fighting against the director. And all of a sudden, the last remaining zombie girl from the cabin makes her way down, because she's tracking down the people. And she stabs the director. She goes over the pit. And the pothead gets the gun, shoots the werewolf. So these two characters are dying, and they're like, oh man, this was a sucky weekend. And they're like, you know what? Humanity has had a good run. The smart virgin girl says, maybe it's time to give someone else a chance. And they're like, screw humanity, we're gonna let these ancient demons come out. And the pothead's final words are like, you know what, I really wish I could have seen these ancient gods. That would have been an epic weekend. The movie ends with the whole installation collapsing upon itself, and this giant ass hand coming down and smashing the camera. And I was like, that was amazing. This was a really, really good movie, I felt. Because even though it does take horror elements from, other movies and bits and pieces from here, and the standard horror cliches, it explains it in a way that makes sense. All of that is to satisfy this blood ritual. And again, if you see it, you don't know what's going on at the start. You have no idea. All you know is that this installation is messing around with these kids. So, right off the bat, you don't know what's going on. And that's actually what I liked. I liked trying to figure out what was going on. But again, if you saw Angel, you might have gotten an idea of what was going on, because Joss Whedon, again, did have that kind of plot in Angel, where they had this law firm that worked the same way. But still, I thought it was a great movie. It's already released on DVD and Blu-ray in the United States, so if I see it on sale, I'm definitely going to pick it up, because Joss Whedon is doing an amazing job. He did a great with the Avengers, and this movie, even though I don't think it got that much attention, I really liked it. In the end, my girlfriend, after she figured out it, after I explained a few details, she got it and she liked it also. She still thought it was a weird movie, but she liked it. And I loved this movie. I really loved The Cabin in the Woods. It was a good movie. So if you haven't seen it, watch it, rent it, buy it, whatever you can. But definitely, I would definitely recommend watching this movie. It's a solid 9.5. It might lose people at the start, but if you follow all the way through, you're going to love this movie. So, yeah, 9.5 for Cabin in the Woods. That was my movie review of this movie. Hope you all like it. Hope you all watch it. And until I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78, signing off.